Okay, it's William here again, and I just wanted to make a short video talking about something that I'm trying to do now, in a better way at least. So here I have my first initial screen. The red squares are just to show to me where the buttons are, because those are just transparent buttons as the icon goes on the background. So when I click Browse Presets, the code needs to load the new background, release the previous one, and also release all the buttons that was before, and add the new close button. I haven't added the other ones yet. And when I click close, it does the same thing. It removes the background, loads a new one, and add the buttons. So it is working, but the way I'm doing, so let me close this. The way I'm doing, on the interface, I created a layer object, and I make a public for the layer object, for a layer browser, and then a layer initial. So those are the two ones. And for instance, so let's say the layer initial, it creates the image background, add two on and off buttons, one for the options and one for the browser. So if I run this, I don't know why it got slow this time, the debug. Maybe I have to restart my computer. So this one opens the global options for the initial screen, and the browse presets just open the browser. I haven't done everything on the code yet, but I was wondering how to handle that, because in the layer initial, when you click the on and off for initial browser, it fires up the callback and tells me which component was clicked, and it checks for initial browser, and then it has to change the layer. So at this time, I would get in trouble because I need to close this layer and open the new one. But then I will be in the middle of the code as I close it and have to open the new one. So for now, what I did is actually very simple. I just call layer changed, and for the layer changed, I have two variables. Let me show the variables here. An atomic boolean for the change layer set, and a scoped pointer for the object, the new object, so change layer new object. So first I check if that's not already set. If it is, I already have one layer change going on, so I don't want to do one on top of the other, because this will never happen and shouldn't happen. And also have a thread that I have to check if it's not running, so I can stop my timer, stop receiving mouse clicks on the editor, suspend the audio processing. Actually, this I don't need, not for layer change, just for preset. I can remove that. So I'm going to remove that. Then I set the change layer new object to the new object that I just created here on the initial callback, which is going to be new layer browser, and that's it. So now I have the new one, and the old one is still working. And then I start the thread for the layer change thread, which right now doesn't have much, because I don't need to do a lot of stuff. So I don't need a progress indicator or anything like that. So I just set the change layer set to true. Then I restart the timer just so I don't forget. And here I have locked the message manager just in case. But I don't really need to, but it's best to do that because I'm calling repaint. And then on the paint, I just check, is the change layer set true, and is there a new object to be used? Then I remove my components. I close the layer object, which is the current one. Just check, just in case, to be sure that it's not a null pointer. By close it, if I go here on initial and I check the close it call, where is the close it call? Oh, the close it call is global because it's for the layer object itself. So it's go in the, where is it? The layer object, where is the layer object? CPP, here, CPP. So the close is going to remove the child components off that layer. And let me go back to the paint. Then I can release that layer object. And since I'm on the paint and nothing else is going to be using that old code, I can safely be sure that I can release it. And then I set the new layer object as the layer new object, and I just release it so I don't copy or anything like that. Then I can change the layer set to false. I don't need to suspend the processing. And I can set the mouse clicks to be accepted again on the interface. So this way, when you click on the button to open the browser, it's going to fire up the change layer code, which is going to fire up the thread, and the thread is just going to set the change layer set to true. So at this point, we should not be at the old code anymore, because I just go and return right away. I don't know if I should do an lock in here, but I don't think that is really needed, because the time it takes for the thread to run and to lock the message manager in here and to actually repaint, where after the top component is visible set false, only after that is going to close and delete that layer object. So it should be safe. I don't see any problem in this part of the code. So it's a bit hacky, but right now it's working. And just going to know if this is going to work correctly for large layers, especially the ones that are coming up. Because right now I'm just testing with 2 layers that have 2 knobs, so 2 buttons actually, on and off buttons. So it has this button here. Oops, I click it. That code's not ready yet. So it should work. Now I have to add the other stuff to this layer. Then it should work correctly. So browse presets, close, browse presets, close. If I double click by mistake, it doesn't have any problems with that. If I click like a crazy guy with the left and right, it doesn't lock or anything like that. But you can see that it is refreshing the window quickly, and you can see that it's adding the stuff and removing. But the red squares are just for testing, so they are not going to appear anyway. So okay, just a short video to talk about this, because I wasn't clear about how this was going to work. And of course, when you load the presets, it's going to be much more complicated, because then I have to remove everything from the screen, add a loading preset screen, loading preset progress bar, because the preset can or not have samples, so I have to worry about that. But that's going to be next, so it's going to be probably on another thread that loads just the preset. So okay, this is just short, and thanks for watching.